So DayZ a couple days ago made a really cool post about DayZ 1.23 coming around the corner on October 5th and surprised us yesterday with an announcement of a live stream today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we saw. One of the new features in 1.23 coming is the ability to hide the passwords when connecting to a server. This is really nice for streamers willing to connect to private servers of RP or any other kind of server, or modders or other people who have public servers but they have password protected for a reason. Very nice addition. Looks like they add more details to houses with the blood spats on the mattresses. There might be more to find in experimental. They also pointed out, while not able to add in new animations all the time, they are trying to add in new sounds to make the animations currently more immersive. Here it is.
Never seen like this.
Also in this update, it looks like they are introducing the ability to finally push cars. Now this is obviously going to be a timed action and it's going to push the car a little bit, but this is very useful and helpful. One thing I have noticed is that being able to push cars is very useful because it looks like it uses the car's physics itself instead of just moving the car as a object. It uses it as an entity. This is really nice. Another thing they did mention while driving around is they did improve the M3S truck to be a little bit more off-roady, basing it off of the off-road AUTA, as well as they have changed some of the terrain to be a little bit easier to drive through and giving players a little bit more freedom, but don't think you can go straight up hills just yet, but it does make maneuvering around the landscape a little bit easier on you. Another cool thing that was pointed out on stream is that now car windows have a film on them to reduce those sun rays, making it easier to drive and not be so easily blinded. However, we did notice that the windows did have what seemed to be kind of a reflective surface on them a little bit more than usual. Also looks like they added in a new form of headwear. You can see it currently on the zombie, and it looks quite nice on the player as well. There are quite a few variations of this, but it is a welcome piece of clothing in DayZ. DayZ once again has brought back a loved and beloved item, the field shovel. The field shovel overall doesn't take up much inventory space, and it only takes 1 or 2 strikes to infect its head to take it down. But it does also come with a lovely new animation, keeping you low to the ground whether you're burying things or digging things back up, making it easier for you to stay hidden while you're doing your work. In this live stream, the devs also told us that over the course of a couple of months, the calendars have hinted at a new lighting and Skybox overhaul has come. Here we can see many of the pictures going through them, and you can see the very differences. All of these pictures are from the same angle and are in-game screenshots of the future skyboxes and lighting changes that they're going to be adding in Experimental 1.23. The devs once again decided to go to a castle to look for a new weapon that they wanted to find. But upon arriving at the castle, we found out there are a new interior to the castles themselves with a bunch of what looks like wood reinforcements and floors. This is actually a nice needed change, as you can see that the stairs on the castle have actually been widened and giving you a little bit more of a secure going up and down the castle itself. What's nice is it looks like this can easily be used to build a better home inside of it if you're into base building. And although they did not find the weapon that they were teasing about inside of there, well, hopefully let me know in the comments when you find it. They did let us know and showcase that you can shoot through all of the holes and stuff inside of this wooden insides of the castle, which I would expect nothing less from the DayZ team. This is a much welcome change. One other thing they did talk about is the overall balance of the economy, trying to make it so rifles such as S-Val and Vals are a little bit more in the economy and balancing the overall rifle economy as it is as a whole. They also did mention they are trying to play around and work with a new way to make it easier to possibly play with your friends as a Bambi on the coast. They talked about a system where they're talking about grouping, making it easier when you're spawning in as a Bambi with maybe some of your friends. There's a possibility that you guys are going to have a far higher chance of spawning in the same area and be able to find the landmarks in that area to connect close together. This actually is quite a nice change, as it does mean that as over time the areas might cycle, but it does mean that you will actually probably have a higher chance of spawning with your buddies, making group play a lot easier on servers. They did, however, mention, and it's a very important note, that they're going to be adding configurable options to this grouping or cycling player spawn setting that they are talking about, making it so server owners of community servers and such can also edit the setting and set it how they wish it to be, instead of it being 100% default and not having any control about this. Cool thing is they also showed off the Northwest Airfield has a new monument. Beautiful looking jet pilot fighter on a monument, kind of celebrating that it was the Northwest Air Forces. Overall, the airfield looks a lot more open and easier to navigate. There is also the relocation of the cargo plane and what looks like to be some new ambulance assets near it. I will say that the cargo plane does look a little bit different than the cargo plane that we're used to at the end of the North Airfield, often missing many of the seats with the middle divider and netting, and looks more like a pure cargo plane than it does actually a regular plane that we have seen at the end of the Northwest Airfield, giving speculation to possible some of the other things. We did just spot there that there was looks like a bunch of packaging, and as we can see in here, unfortunately it looks like some wreck while looting eventually met his end. Overall, folks, I'm quite excited for this update coming October 5th on Experimental. And remember, folks, the feedback tracker is the best way to report issues, problems, or make suggestions / tweaks to the game. Remember to use the feedback tracker. I'm going to put it down below. I thank you guys very much for watching this. I know this looks like it may have been thrown together, but I did try to do my best. Don't forget to subscribe to us, and also make sure you go and check out Jarl of Goats and Red Falcon, or watch our other podcasts. Thank you for coming by, and have a wonderful day. Ta-ta for now.